Well, hello there. Welcome to our live stream coming to you today, a beautiful day in Atascadero, California. Here we are starting a little late. We're sorry about that. We had a little technical difficulties. But anyway, we are here and we're going to have a wonderful time today. We got a big show, just all jam-packed for your entertainment value. It's free to watch. It's a great deal. So, hey, this is, that was the Work song. And I love that tune. I first heard that song with Paul Butterfield Blues Band. Do you guys remember that way back then? I think it was on the East West album. And, Nat Adderley. And it's a great Cannibal Adderley. Great tune. And it goes into a minor blues, which is always fun to play. So that's why I chose the song. And it's, by the way, it's on the library as well as it's in detail on the JGI course, the Jazz Guitar Improv course. So if you want to learn the tune, jump into that. Now, I've reharmonized some of the things, as you can tell. Most of the time it's played just in octaves or whatever, but I've been trying to I didn't always execute it correctly, but I was close. Then there's the tune. And then we go into a minor blues. So if you're interested in that tune, check that out. So here's what we got coming up. Are you ready for this? We're going to be doing a review of the Henriksen Bud 6 amp, which I just played out of, and you see it over there. And I'm going to be using them at the Guitar College workshop coming up, and we're going to do a review on it as well. Wait for it. We're going to do an interview with Peter Henriksen, and it should be a wonderful time. It'll be fun. Peter's a great guy and fun, happy fella. So to demonstrate the amp, I'm going to use 3 different guitars, 4 actually. So I just played out of it with my L5 with humbuckers. We're going to use a Golden Eagle with a floater, and then a ES350 with P90s. And believe it or not, I'm going to bring out my Strat, and we're going to rock out, dude. And we'll hear the amp with that. So that'll be fun. We'll have a fun time. Fun time is guaranteed for all. So thank you for joining us. And by the way, I want to say, this doesn't happen unless you show up. And I really appreciate all you guys that really do. So please show up and give us questions. Start thinking of some questions you have for Peter Henriksen, okay? And so we want this to be interactive. So, bad news. Brian Wilson passed away at 82. You start listening to Beach Boy tunes. I mean, Beach Boys. I love the Beach Boys, and I listened to the Beach Boys before I even played guitar. I mean, I was right at that time. When surfing is the only way for me. That was their first record. They actually played a grand opening. I wasn't able to attend in Thousand Oaks at a Thrifty Mart. Grand opening of a Thrifty Mart. But Brian Wilson, so anyway, we're going to talk about him and his impact on the world. Chris Montez knew him real well. I went to high school with him. They had a couple of classes together. And there's an interview floating around, and I've been meaning to call Chris. I texted him about Brian, and he said he was really upset about it. But there's an interview with Chris and Brian together, and we got to find that. Anyway, we'll talk more about that. We're also going to be giving away a free fingerstyle lesson on the tune Surfer Girl, and I'm going to play that a little later. So if you ever wanted to learn it, now's the time. It's free, and we'll tell you how to get it in a little bit. Let's see what else is coming up here. By the way, we got a new course. It came from the live class that we did on a thing called Instant Arrangement. And we took a tune. We took the song I Can See Clearly Now. And this was a couple of months ago. And we learned how to harmonize it many different ways. And we also transposed it to many different keys. And then you end up with this arrangement because it's a song that's kind of repetitive, and we need to transpose it and just to bring some more life into the tune. So I'll talk more about that later. And we'll also play the arrangement, which I created during the class. You can also get more info on the course when you go to the Guitar College store. So, Wes is here working all the machinery here.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
And Gail's working the board. Say hi, Gail. And
yeah,
so
we got a lot more
it.
stuff coming up. Man, you are come on. Let's pick up the pace here, pal.
Easy.
Let's
kid.
see. So, like you said, we got a free lesson coming up. We'll tell you how to get it. There's a cool new way to help you that we're going to start doing to help you sell your guitar. We'll talk about that coming up. Heart. Remember we talked about this last week. Heart's stolen guitar. Stolen from a stage in Atlantic City. It's been found. We got that. And a bunch of other stuff. So if you don't know, if you've never tuned into our show, we're live every Thursday at 11 o'clock, 11 a.m. Pacific time. So if you don't already subscribe to us, please do, and get the notifications so you never miss what we got coming up. And then comment. We need your questions. We need people to participate in the chat, especially with Peter coming up. That's going to be fun. So if I know a lot of you guys definitely have Henriksen amplifier. So if there's anything you've wanted to ask him, definitely get that ready. So yeah, let's check out who's here real quick. We got a lot of people here. Sorry. And normally I get the stream started a little earlier, but I had to cancel. I had to close it down because everything froze. So that's why we're a little bit late. But Don's here. What's up, Don? Don Spain. Rob Ketterer in Wisconsin. William Melton's here. What's up, William? Good to see you. Rodney's down in cloudy San Diego. Usually sunny down there. Big Steve is in Olympia, Washington. What's up? Frank Reyna in Texas. How's it going, Frank? And Gordon. How's it going, Gordon? David Bronson, Jimmy Wynn, that's Frank Body. We're going to talk about one of his guitars coming up. He's trying to sell it, so we're going to see if anyone wants to buy it. Mike Brandenburger's here from the Dallas area. Michael Petrosh from New Hampshire. Daniel Emberley. Question for Peter: Have they considered an 8-inch combo? That's a good question. So Danielle, if I don't get to that, will you please remind me about that coming up? Let's see what else. We got a couple announcements you got today, right?
Well, yeah, because next week we're going to be talking with Sean McCowan, and he has a new book out called The Holistic Guitarist. And we got a lot of questions for him about it. And something like this book can be really helpful for your entire career. Because one of the worst things you could do is hurt yourself playing your guitar. I went to the chiropractor yesterday, and he said, this is about as good as it's going to get for you because you've been hunched over a guitar for 60 years. And so I thought, oh, great. Okay, good. So anyway, Sean, so those health-related questions, start thinking about those things for Sean. gosh, Yosemite Camp is coming up in, it starts on the 22nd? Wow. That's not very far away. So there is one double room left. In other words, there's one spot left where you could stay at the camp. We do have RV parking if you want to stay in your RV and attend, or there's plenty of off-site facilities where you can stay in Oakhurst. So check out the site for more information about all those things. And people, really, they start signing up for next year right when this camp is over with. So it's pretty cool. It's really fun. Also got the Chet Atkins CAS, Chet Atkins Appreciation Society in Nashville coming up July 9th through the 12th. I'll be performing twice and doing a class. I tell you, if you've never been to that Nashville, to CAS especially, you're going to hear some of the hottest pickers ever on the planet. Bruce Foreman's going to be there, which will be fun. Maybe we can play together. There'll be a lot of friends there, and it should be really, really fun. So if you get a chance to go to that, attend that, by all means, make some plans and do it.
And then selling guitars. You sold a guitar, couple guitars.
I have. Yeah, we sold. The golden, the Eagle Classic we had last week. I don't think it was it even on there. That went out the door to Frank. And I just mailed that a couple days ago, so Frankie should be getting it pretty soon. That was a sweet guitar. And then also this 550 sold, and another sweet guitar sold.
And there's a bunch of them still for sale, man. We got a lot of them up here, man. Look at that selection.
Yep, we do. Got a golden golden eagle with a floater. We got a Eagle Classic, brand new. And then, we just got a lot of guitars.
Yeah, and then there's great reasons to why you should buy one from us, because you personally, you only buy guitars that you think are really, when you go to, on Reverb and stuff, you're picking out guitars that you would want. These are all guitars that you would play, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That I have. I take to gigs every once in a while.
And then on top of that, you check them out thoroughly. You clean the heck out of them.
I do.
Restring them, set them up, do all the little tiny tweaks and stuff that
Some need the nuts cut a little lower and the bridge filed a little lower.
Right.
Because in order for me to play it, it's got to play like butter, baby.
Right.
So.
And then you get your custom gauge strings, and then if there's someone interested in one of these guitars, you'll do a Zoom meeting with them, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Get on Zoom, and then you can have them play what you want to hear, and have them tweak it, and just kind of your own little personal listening session, which makes it that's definitely hard to get, but that makes it better when you're buying online, because buying online, you never know what you don't get to hear.
I can vouch for that.
You don't get to hear the guitar. So, but in this case, you do in a sense, but sure, it will sound different when it gets to your house, that's for sure. And then you've obviously sold hundreds of guitars, so you know how to package them.
Oh, sure.
Which there's always
trial and error. That's
and that's always a sketchy thing. Like, you get a guitar,
you gotta
show up, and then the box is all like not packaged right. You're like, oh great, here we go.
Oh yeah. Well, we one fella who got let's see, what did he buy? He bought a new Heritage, and he got the box, and he was like paranoid. He said, "I can't believe this box. Oh no!" And he called me. He said, "Should I even open it?" And I said, yeah. Take a picture of the box, open it up, and check out the guitar. Luckily, the guitar was fine. But he said, first off, they delivered it to the wrong place. and then second, the box was and I got stickers all over those damn boxes. Do not stack. That means do not put a set of barbells on top of this. Don't put anything on top of it. And they're all over. But they seem to, maybe they can't read. Or maybe they don't want to. So anyway. Yeah, crazy. So, where are we at here, Wes? You did a roll call.
Yeah, let me see. Let me go back through and let me see if
We got some
else.
questions and stuff, comments here.
We do?
Yeah, look what Rob said.
Yeah, so after 25 years of cardio, gastro scans, tests, doc visit, it turns out to be Telecaster rib. Poor posture while hunched over a guitar. Yeah, Telecaster rib. Been playing mine since 75. Don't have it yet. Hope you get better soon. Let's see. How does the Henriksen compare to the Quilter? We'll talk about that coming up. And let's see. And you get to see him play as a bonus too. There, Adrian said that. Yep. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to embarrass you a little bit. Wes like a chicken with his head cut off running around here trying to get this show going. So if you feel like it, I know he would really appreciate it when he gets tips from you guys. That's really sweet. And you guys have all been very generous with things, and we really appreciate it when you do that.
But yeah, no, he's right.
Where did you learn all those swear words?
That's not embarrassing. This is what it takes in the audio video world. This is a day. This is how every day is. When you work in a newsroom, when you work in setting up for a concert, when you're, like last minute deadline stuff, like it's the nature of the biz, man.
Yeah.
And you think you can escape it by doing your own little thing, just turns into the same thing. It's just how it is. But you know what's cool about running around with your, like a chicken with your head cut off is you don't have time to think about all the other bullshit. You just only can think about what you're doing right then and there.
Right.
You're not sitting there going, "Oh man, I should have paid my bill yesterday," or
Yeah.
You just have no time to think. So by the time you look down at your watch, you're like, "Oh shit, 3.5 hours has gone by."
I heard a little interview with Cher, and she was saying she likes to be late for concerts because she doesn't like to, but if she's late, she doesn't think about anything else except getting there and not, what am I going to sing, what, blah, 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 and all that, all that stuff. So let's dig into the Henriksen. What do you say?
Yeah, go for it. Let's do it.
Okay, first off, the Bud 6 here. Look at this. It comes, let me grab this, in this little bag. Look at this. It's a cute little bag here. See this? And it's got a zipper here for the cord, and it's got a strap. So if you have a gig on a subway, you take this thing, and then I think this would even fit in the overhead bin. No problem. So it comes in this padded bag, which I think is really awesome. Many of you have probably heard me say this, that I have one Bud 10, which I leave in the studio, and then I still have my old Quilter Mach 2 in the car, and I sold my other Mach 2. I had two of them because I wasn't using them in the studio, just using the Henriksen now. But because I'm too lazy to go in and pack it up and move it, I just leave it. But one of these days that thing's going to poop out, or Peter's going to send me a new one, another one. You never know. And then I'll play this all the time. But anyway, this guy comes in this bag, and here it is. It's a little tiny cube, little 6-inch speaker. It's got a tweeter here. When we look at the back of the amp, it's kind of interesting. You've got course, your AC cord, which, by the way, make sure you don't leave home without it. And then extension speaker. You have the tweeter off and on, so you can turn that tweeter. This is one thing I do like about the Henriksens, as opposed to the Quilter. If you ever play acoustic guitar or nylon string acoustic, it sounds so much better with a tweeter. So just to get that high crispness out of it. So to be quite honest, when I was playing my nylon string all the time, I felt I had to have an amp with a tweeter. And so I did, and I didn't use the Mach 2 with that. So you also have effects loop here and a headset out, and you have a wonderful XLR line out there. So if we look at the top here, you got a lot of controls here. You know, what is this, like the freaking space shuttle? So
There's not a lot of controls.
look at them all. All right, so here's your input volume, your volume there. You got your low cut boost, low mid, what do they call that? Yeah, low mid cut and boost, high mid cut and boost, high, and then presence, which I assume is super high. Probably around the 700 hertz or something, I don't know. And then we have reverb. It's got a nice padded handle. You could put a mic in there or a quarter-inch guitar cord. So that's pretty handy.
Yeah, super. These amps are great for like the singer-songwriter guys, man, who just want to travel around and sing and play. That's It's just money for that. One thing about that, the size of that thing is it fits underneath the seat in front of you on a plane.
Oh, it does, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So if you were traveling with it or whatever and need to bring it, because it is light enough to carry around at the airport, that's for sure.
Yeah. Also,
and then you can make some tips while you're at the airport, cover your flight, and you're all good.
Yeah, well, you got a 3-hour layover in Vegas, you might as well do it.
Right.
Or Denver or Chicago. All right, so it also is Bluetooth. So if you have your tracks on your phone or whatever, you can Bluetooth it to this. And there is also an auxiliary input right here with its own volume as well. I think. You can input there with a 1/8-inch jack, and then you've got your tracks there. So super nice, compact little guy. It's got nice heavy-duty feet on the bottom. Here is the bass port, if you notice this. It's very well designed. So it's going to be fun to talk to Peter about this. Okay. Now, shall we play something?
Yeah, are you going to grab...
A different guitar?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me grab a different guitar.
All right, cool. So another thing we're going to start doing here on the show is reading some fan mail, because you guys send us a lot of emails, and a lot of you guys love the strings. That's always a big thing that we get. So Larry wrote us a while back, said, a while back I put together a set of your custom gauge strings on my Eastman AR371. I loved the results the other day when I played my custom ordered 371. It just didn't sound good with the round wound 12, so he's excited to put his strings on that one as well. I have a handful of ES175 over the years, but find these Eastmans to be more to my liking when it comes to tone and playability. So that's from Larry. Thanks, Larry. Let's see. This is from Bobby Johnson. Says, just a note to tell you how incredibly pleased I am after equipping my 81 Emperor F with your strings. I thought it sounded great before, but the tones emanating now are nothing short of otherworldly. Totally blown away. Superior to Tomastic Inkfield, in my opinion. Yes, I am sold. There will be another order for a few sets forthcoming for my Joe Pass Emperor and my John Schofield Ibanez. So yeah, if you guys, so people love the strings. If you guys want to get some strings, just go to guitarcollege.com, click on strings, and voila.
And you're off to the races.
There you go. So yeah, they're one set $22, 3 for $60. Fill out the form and get them right here. They are Diodario Chrome Bright Flat Wounds 48, 38, 28, 20, 15, and 13. You get an extra 10 and 14 in the set. So again, yeah, we sell tons of them. So if you want them,
You know, these are for my students, and you know, I every guitar I get has got these strings on it. And so many of my students and you watchers out there have wanted them, so that's why we made them available. I don't put them on like Reverb or anything like that to sell to the general public. It's not for the general public. It's just for you guys. Okay? So once you get them, you don't have to tell your friends if they're not a fan of us. So...
let's see. Quick question here from Adrian. Would this cut through on a jazz 3-piece gig?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We play these all the time at the workshop, and Peter did a workshop at the in Colorado. Everybody played out of these amps. They cut like crazy. Yeah, so no problems, no problems. I think more so than any Fender. Believe it or not, it's not a matter of volume. I think it's a matter of balance and tone. So, oh yeah, and trust me, they get loud. They get loud.
So here's a look at the settings that you have currently on the one that we have over there in the corner.
It's pretty much flat. And so I'm going to just step over here and do a couple tweakings. Just so hopefully you can hear it, the difference. So here we are. If I raise the bass a little, but let me raise the low mid a minute. So the difference is minute. You know what I mean? It's not like but you can hear a little difference in you. So if you want to boost that up, great. Here's your high mid boost. If you don't like that frequency, you go the other direction and dial it out.
Yeah, and they're just really responsive when it comes to no matter what pickup you are using. So now we obviously got the floater in play now, and yeah.
And let me punch up the reverb just so you can hear it a little better. I think this is a newly designed reverb. Pretty. So I pretty much like to drive it pretty much flat, maybe kick up the bass a hair. It depends on where the amp is. Let me explain that a little more. If you put it on a floor, hard floor or something, you're going to have much more bass response. Right now it's up in the air, sitting on top of an amp. So the bass response is not as much. So that's why you can tweak it. So when I sit down and try to get a tone, I'm looking for, I like a full range sound. So I like the high end. because I like that little twinkle twinkle in the high end. And so I think that's a beautiful sound. What do you think, Wes?
Yeah, no, it sounds good.
Yeah, that's a beautiful sound. That's a beautiful sound. So, now a lot of guys like Sean McCowan plays these. He's a good friend of Peter's, by the way. And, you know, I've had guys at 2 years ago, or maybe it was last year, at K3, or his Mach 2, excuse me, because he wanted a Henriksen. He knew that we were bringing some. And so he sold his quilter to Mike Dana, who now has 3 of them. Well, he's got 2 houses, and then he's got one in his car. So he hasn't made the jump yet, but he will, I'm sure. And then, so anyway, so he took home one of the Henriksens. And so we're going to have them at camp as well. And so if you really want one, we'll work out a great deal for demos. But anyway, getting back to what I was talking about with Sean McCowan, he plays several guitars, but a lot of them he'll play with a Charlie Christian pickup. It handles it wonderful. Bruce Buckingham. I'm sorry, I got him on my mind.
Bruce Foreman.
Yeah. Bruce Foreman has got Barney Kessel's guitar with the Charlie Christian, plays one of these. Sounds great. So it's just a beautiful sounding amp. Do you want to try another guitar on it, Wes?
Sure. Yeah. Those. By the way, the amps there are 120 watts. Lachlan said every guitar I plug into my Henriksen sounds the best it ever has, it's very true. It's just very crisp sound. Vincent says the 6-inch Henriksen is a freak of nature. Huge tone in a small light box. The single channel blue is all you need unless you like to share your amp with a singer, which is very true. They do make the blue models that do not have the dual inputs.
Right.
Yeah.
Much cheaper. They're a little cheaper too.
Yeah. Another thing that is great about the Henriksen amps is you get a 30-day risk-free trial. So if you don't love it, you just send it back, and they'll give you a full refund. And they give you a full refund too. They're not gonna, how some companies will take a little chunk off the top. I think they're gonna give you all your money back because they stand by their products. That's for sure. They are one of the most well-built amps that you can buy. And then also too, they also have. They got the Bud custom shop.
Sorry.
That's awesome. Love that. The Bud with the in these beautiful walnut cabinets that are just like.
Oh yeah. Oh, those are gorgeous. They're like furniture.
Right. I mean, that's not veneer right there. That's solid walnut.
Do you have a picture?
Oh shoot! Sorry. I've had this on the whole time.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
yeah.
have 2 switchers back here now,
Oh.
and I was on the round. Yeah, there's that picture, and there's that one. There you go. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, the Bud 10. Here's it in the walnut. But yeah, like I said, that is just it's super nice wood, solid chunks of wood, and they're hand done, and
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
they're just. I forget the guy's name who makes them, but
I'd be afraid to take it out. One more thing to bang up. But
yeah, that's one that you. That's
you leave that in the living room.
Yeah, exactly. Which is cool because it's nice enough to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, your
like I
wife might not get mad about having a amp in the living room if it looks like this, right?
Right.
Put some coasters on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. But coasters. Yeah. So we've got a couple of comments here. Hey Jim, what's happening, Jim Carlton? Thank you for joining us, Jim. This is the ES 350 with 1951 with the original pickups, P90 pickups. And I'll be quite honest with you. That amp with this guitar sounds the best in my opinion. I don't know what it is. The P90s are just a nice sound, but I mean, check it out. Check this out.
So I'm gonna open up the room mic. So this is you're hearing it with the mic right up against the amp. Here's what it sounds like in our open room mic. But we don't have it at a very high volume at all.
I can turn it up if you
Yeah,
want.
maybe turn it up a hair.
How's that?
There we go. So that's kind of a open air setup where you're hearing the mic in the center of the room.
right, let's go back to the other mic and get rid of all that hiss.
Yeah, exactly. So the room mic's pretty noisy, but that definitely gives you a good sense of what it's like, and if you're hearing it in like a cafe or something,
Yeah.
where you're gonna have some other kind of stuff going on, but definitely, killer amp, 120 watts, and it gets loud. It definitely does get loud.
Yeah. So Gary Salima's got one. He's in Italy. Did you buy it over here and then take it there, or did you buy it over in Italy? I didn't know if they were over there. Okay. Jim Carlton. What a nice guy. Oh, there it is. Dave Smith. He bought a blue 10 at Yosemite 2 years ago. I play my telly with Charlie Christian net pickup, and it is amazing sound. Cool, man.
So do you have the Strat there?
I do. Shall we plug in the Strat?
Yeah, let's plug in the Strat here. This will be the final guitar before we get out to Peter. But speaking of guitars, there's this guy on Instagram named Wells Music, and he wrote a song about guitars that I think you guys are all going to appreciate. So here you go.
Ever since I was a boy, my mom and my papa couldn't keep me away from the old pawn shop. I was trading this and selling that. Got me a PV amp and a Chinese Strat. Not speaking the blues, buddy, just like that. If I could pick a guitar like old Zach Top does, well, I wouldn't be out here getting bit by bugs. If I could play a guitar like old Billy Strings, well, I can't today, but I'm practicing. There's a joy and a being the best you can be. 2 days effort makes tomorrow's dreams. Give me 4, give me 6, give me 8, give me 12, give me all the strings. It's good for my health. I like a Taylor or a Martin or a Gibson or Guild. It don't matter the make, it don't matter the build. Yamaha, Jackson, Fender, Epiphone. There ain't a guitar out there I can leave alone. I throw 'em over my shoulder, going out in the woods and shred them little doggies like you know I could. God made the oceans and the critters and trees, and then he got done making Adam and Eve. And Adam said, hey God, just one more thing. God said, what? And Adam said, I need a guitar, please. Ivan is Washburn, Takamine, and Swire. Court is important, Charvel's on fire. I like a finished Japanese Les Paul, a Strat. I'll take an Aria Pro or a good Hondo or a Memphis Matsumoku, baby, that's where it's at. I've been to guitar centers all across the land, traveling around with my rock and roll band. We hop out of the van, it's like going to church and say, good God, I hope we sold a little bit of merch, cause I just saw a guitar that I got to purchase. Got the reverb app, the marketplace. I want more guitars than stars in space. And people get to questioning about the profusion. I say it ain't a problem, man, guitar's the solution. Ever since I was a boy.
There you go. That guy likes guitars a lot, for sure. What a cool little tune there. So you all stratted out over there.
Yeah, man. Hey,
Great.
I'd like that song, man. I'd do that song.
I know.
Wonder if he'd let me learn it.
No, he totally would, for sure.
Let me record it.
Yeah. Well, he'd probably recorded it by now. Let's see. Jim asked, does it have an extension speaker jack or a line out?
It has both.
Yeah, has both. Yeah, Peter just answered there. The amp has both a parallel extension out and a line out. All right, so a lot of people associate Henriksens with arch tops, but hey, they'll make your Strat sound great too.
Yeah.
Talk about bringing the true flavor of a Strat out.
Fender guitars have that dipped out mid-range. This you can kind of put it in, and I think it makes I'm going to go over here and tweak a little bit. As Les Paul said, we had a knob and we got to turn it. I'm going to boost up the low mids a little bit. Listen. And then let's see what the high mids are at. Let's see. You see, that's more that thinner sound, which just leave it flat. Now the high, I think, Strats usually have enough high end. You don't need a whole lot of high end on a Strat. Whoops, that presence that makes a difference though. See, listen. So that's a little too much. We'll go like. There we go. Sweet.
El Guitaro says, nice amp, but kind of pricey, don't you think? They are a little pricey for sure, but they are probably going to be one of the last amps you're ever going to buy too. So that's you got to pay for the quality. It's like buying a USA-made arch top.
Yeah. What am I? A poke salad, Annie? Baby got your granny. I think I'm overloading the mixing board. Let's play a tune with the Strat, Nat. Do you want to?
Yeah.
Do you? I mean, really want to? Because you really got to.
Well, yeah.
Let's
Make
see.
it a quick one.
Okay. Hold on a second.
Let's see.
Shoulders.
Danielle asks, I often wonder how Pasquale Grasso dials in his sound. Always sounds good, but never overly bright. Peter might be able to weigh in on that, Danielle. So we'll ask Peter about that when we join him in a couple minutes.
Okay, let's see the volume. All right, here we go. Ready?
Yep.
You might have to balance it. I don't know.
Nice.
Ouch.
Let's see. Curtis says Bud 6 versus AER Compact 60. Curtis asked that, and then Lachlan says my AER is now relegated to my storage unit. So that's probably a pretty solid answer. Lachlan plays a lot of guitar and has a lot of good guitars, and so yeah, I don't know. We don't have an AER. What is that?
Yeah, I've heard about them. I think there's a couple of demos on YouTube about them.
Yeah, and then Rob said, I think you really need to hear these amps in band situations to really appreciate the quality of the sound, which is awesome.
That's true. That's true.
So we also mentioned too, like the Bud 6. Whoops, God, I keep on forgetting to
Why
switch.
do you keep going on that?
Because you need to. If you see it, tell me so I can get off it. If you see a
yeah.
random shot of a thing up that shouldn't be there, just say something.
Hey, can you pull this jack out?
Yeah.
God damn.
So anyway, we mentioned earlier about the Bud 6. So the Bud 6 is you could plug in. It's got 2 inputs. So you can either plug a mic in, or you could play with one of your buds, right?
Hence
hence the word, hence the name, Bud 6.
Hence.
So here's you playing with one of your buds. All right.
Wow. Hi, Peter. I can hear he's not coming through the headset, though.
Right. Keep talking.
Hey, man, that beard is really getting. Yeah,
Just hold
well,
on.
that's funny.
Okay, now we got him.
Say something, Peter.
Check one, check two. Is this
Perfect.
All
thing
right.
on? Hello, hello.
Hello.
Okay.
There we are. Okay, good. Phew.
All right, a lot of logistics to work out here, but you're
Totally
up
understand.
and we hear you.
Great.
Victory.
Victory, yeah. Well, Peter, so, geez, we've been, I don't know if you saw, but we've been demoing your amplifier, putting it through the paces with some different guitars and the amps that you sent, the Bud 6s. Which, by the way, thank you.
You're welcome. Of
Yeah.
course.
And we're going to take them to camp. And then thanks for those nice carrying cases, too.
You talking about the Pelicans?
Yeah.
Yeah, those things are great.
Yeah. Cool, man. So, Peter, let's see. We have a bunch of questions for you.
Great.
Now I can't remember what they are.
Probably good. I can't guarantee I'll have answers for you. So
First off, I know your dad started the company, right?
Yep.
That was what year was that?
he started. It took him a few years in development, but officially we shipped our first amplifier in October of 2006.
And was that called the Jazz Amp at the time?
That was just called the Jazz Amp.
Okay, I remember the first time I saw that amp, and meeting your father briefly at NAMM.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I thought, wow, that's cool. Finally, somebody decided to do something like that. I mean, Polytone was around, but I don't know. They were iffy, and I particularly.
Polytones in various stages of malfunction, and the company Polytone really was going under at that time, and so basically my dad had a background in electronics manufacturing and just said, you know what, I know how to design one of these. I'm just going to build something that I think sounds good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and but the design has been tweaked a lot since then. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fundamentally the circuit, particularly the preamp circuit, is basically the same. So it's the same approach to amplifying the guitar, but a lot of the features have been upgraded. And the original Jazz Amp had a volume knob and a 5-band EQ, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad actually refused to put reverb in it for a couple of years because he hated reverb.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't play without reverb. Which, by the way, did you upgrade the reverb on this, or it sounds a little different, or maybe not? But
It's we've tweaked it a little bit. I honestly don't remember which ones we sent you. So
okay. Well, it's less springy.
okay.
Yeah, it more hall sound to me.
Yeah, we use a off-the-shelf reverb chip that a lot of pedal makers belt and reverb. So it's a digital simulation. Obviously, it's not a spring.
Right. Thank God.
I don't think you can fit a spring in there.
Yeah, I don't think you have room. Yeah, that's funny. So now what's the difference between like a Bud 6 and a Blue 6?
The Blue is our single channel series. So they sound the same, the components are the same. There's one feature difference with the 2-channel that kind of confuses people, and that is with the 2-channel amps, we presume you're going to use one of those channels for a microphone. So we put an input gain on there. It's less relevant to guitars, but it's very relevant to microphones, just like a input level on a mixing board. It's not like a pre and post gain with a tube amp.
Oh, okay.
It's more like a mixing board thing. So the single channel amp, we kind of just left the input gain at standard guitar input gain level, and so you don't really need that control with a single channel. So that's the feature difference, but otherwise they sound the same. It's just the Blue is one channel and the Bud is two channels.
Yeah. Did the original Jazz amp have a tweeter?
No. We started putting them in after a couple of years as an option. And I think I made them standard, I think like 10 years ago. I can't really remember, but no, the original ones were very plain Jane.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that tweeter feature and the fact that you can shut it off.
Yeah.
Too. That's
Guitars don't really sound great with it. And interestingly enough, a lot of our nylon string customers prefer to turn it off because the nylon string guitars are already kind of bitey. And so,
see,
yeah.
I feel just the opposite.
Right. That's what I thought too, but I don't really play nylon and I don't have fingernails. So.
Yeah, by the way, do you play a lot?
No, I grew up playing electric bass. I
Now,
can play a guitar, and I
You
do
look
play.
like a bass player.
Yeah.
A mountain bass player.
I'm the classic bass player where there were three of us in the band, and I was the worst of the three guitar players, so they handed me a bass.
The bass, yeah.
Back in high school.
But you guys don't make a bass amp.
Not yet. We're working on one. We hope to have it out in January.
Yeah, because we were talking about that. I don't know if you remember, but the bass player friend of mine, since I guess Acoustic Image went under, and there was another company, bass company that went under, and it kind of left a hole there. And
Yeah, I think. Now I can't remember the name. I know the company you're talking about. Yeah, unfortunately, Rick Jones passed away with Acoustic Image, and they didn't want to carry it on, so it's just not there anymore. Unfortunately, it was a great brand, and a really good product. So we are picking up where they left off. It's just taken us a while to get something into production because it's been, the bass market is 1/10 the size of the guitar market, so it's a bit of a lower priority.
yeah, I get that. You know. Well, I think it's great that your guitar amp is associated with jazz guitar, because the go-to amps of Fender and Vox or stuff like that are they are what they are, but don't always translate to a nice jazz sound. So.
Yeah, well, what I always tell people is that amps are tools just like your guitars. How many people watching this only own one guitar? I mean, that's crazy.
Right.
Only a crazy person owns one guitar. And our amplifiers are designed for a very specific purpose, and they're not meant to replace all of your other amplifiers. They're a very specific tool for a specific job. We think they're very Swiss Army knife like, as a metaphor, not in actuality, because Swiss Army knives are actually not good at any of the things that they do.
So can you open a can of beans with your amp?
If you throw it hard enough, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our with a typical tube amp, you have a scooped mid-range inpost. Whereas with jazz guitar and acoustic guitar, what you want is a more broad, even spectrum, what I describe as a piano-like response with the preamp. And so it's really more of, once you send a signal from a pickup to an amplifier, it doesn't know what kind of guitar you're playing. But because we take that approach, it approximates the sound of your guitar acoustically better than something that has shunt circuit tone controls and is artificially scooped and, et cetera, et cetera. So that's our approach and why it's a little bit different.
Yeah. But they definitely have their own unique sound, which is... I guess because of everything I guess, contributes to the sound. The cabinet. I noticed the bass port you had in the bottom of the.
Yeah.
Is
It's
there
a recipe, everything, all the elements together create that.
Is there a bass port on the 10?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I
It's
never.
on the front. Yeah.
Oh, I dig.
Yeah, the upper left side of the
Oh,
10
yeah.
that you're looking at it is the bass reflex port.
Okay, I get it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So,
Well, I got a question here. One guy is asking, David Bronson, not really asking, but he's made a comment. He says he wants to buy a Henriksen amp, but he's worried that if he buys the Bud 6, he'll regret it and wish he bought the Bud 10. So I'm sure you run into that a lot.
That's the second most asked question, is what's the difference between the 6 and the 10? They are electronically the same.